Welcome back to the channel. I'm Jared and this is Greg, and today we're here with the IWI Tavor TS12. This has 3 independent tubular magazines that each hold 5 2 3/4 inch 12 gauge shotgun shells plus one in the chamber. It'll also run 3-inch and it'll eat just about anything. What do you think of that there, Greg?
It's lighter than I thought it was going to be. Heavier on the back, but I guess once you probably load it with the, you said the 12 or the 16 rounds, it's probably leveled itself out pretty good. A lot of, I say plastic, polymer.
It's polymer and aluminum and obviously steel for your barrel. Bullpup design, which puts most of your weight towards the back there. It's got a lot of really cool features. It can be loaded from either side. This is probably the wildest design that I've ever seen in a shotgun platform.
It is.
And to my knowledge, the highest capacity shotgun that I've had my hands on.
A lot of innovation went into this.
Yeah, so what I've read and what I've heard is they run 20,000 rounds torture test on each of their firearms, including this one, and if they change a single pin or spring, they run it right back through that same test as they're trying to improve on the design. This took 4 years in development. It's been on the market for 4 years since then, so all those bugs have been worked out, and now we get a chance to run it here at the Otis range.
Looking forward to it. Woo! I can assure you, you don't want to do that all day.
I think you took most of the paint off that target.
You don't want to do that all day. That that's kicking. There's no, it's good. It's impressive though. That's some hot ammo.
I think I'm gonna load up
Straight slugs.
No, I'm gonna do 5 bird shot, 5 buckshot, 5 slugs.
As fast as you can go.
Yeah, we'll see about that. And then we'll run over there and we'll blast some bottles.
I gotta remember how to do this.
That's pretty sick.
You know when that goes.
I gotta get practiced up on how to cycle those cylinders so that I can get the next shots down quicker. This is pretty sick though.
It is, and honestly, what I notice is the harder you run it, the better it runs. I feel like.
I actually haven't tried like slowing down the shots.
Well, like earlier when we did 5 and then kind of paused and I went to try to rotate, it seemed like it didn't want to go, but when I was just cramming and slamming, it wanted to move. It shoots nice.
You gotta want it on the turn.
Shooting it slow with high power in it kind of hurts, but when you start just letting them fly, you don't even notice it.
You ain't gonna know what hit them.
I could use that out in camp.
All right, for our soda bottle explosions here, Greg opted for slugs. I'm opting for a couple of buckshot. I got one extra in case I missed, but I don't think we are at this distance. All right, how do I get this thing? There we go. Woo! I gotta go fix that other bottle that fell over.
Just shoot it.
Just shoot it. All right, fine. That never gets old.
So we're back. Just got back from the range. We tested out the TS-12 Tavor. What are your thoughts on it?
I think it's a really fun gun to shoot, but I kind of say that about every gun we get our hands on. This thing's super unique. I absolutely love the capacity with the 5 rounds per 2 with 2 3/4 inch.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, I don't think it was that hard on my shoulder. What was your impression of recoil on this thing?
I guess when I first started shooting it, because we are using higher velocity rounds, because it was like at least 1,300 feet per second rate is what they recommended.
Yeah, 12 plus, and if you're anything below it, it might give you issues, but I've seen some videos where they're able to run standard, skeet type rounds, no problem.
And that's probably like any gun, when they're new, the springs are fresh, you got to break them in a little bit. My initial 5 shots that I shot, I thought, wow, I can tell that's there, because it is a fairly heavy firearm.
Yeah.
But then we start doing we're dumping all 3 mags at once. I kind of got either used to it or I'm not sure, but it didn't seem as bad. I mean,
I felt like
I do have marks on my shoulder still, so that is there.
I never got any of that, but I felt like with the amount of weight that it has towards the rear of this gun, that it really managed to recoil well. It's like kind of has a lot of mass back here that kind of just took that recoil off. And I don't know if we talked about it there, but this is an 18.5-inch barrel, and it in this bullpup footprint makes this gun extremely short. You're looking at some 12 gauges here on the wall, and they're just, let's see if I can, whoop. That's just ridiculous.
And the other thing,
shorter that is than most guns.
The other thing, Jared, I do want to say is that does not have recoil like a 3.5-inch turkey load on a very light shotgun. I mean, I'm just comparing.
Yeah,
this is not that bad. It's mild.
It's some ammo testing for turkey loads this spring, and the first one I was like, I won't shoot 3.5 again. That was just not my thing.
I agree.
This handled 12 gauge. Higher velocity slugs and buckshot. We're nowhere near what it would be through, your H&R or something, one of those older break actions or something with no butt plate on them at all, no recoil pad.
Agreed.
Let's go over some of the kind of components and features of this gun that we discovered as we were operating through it. We did bring it out with minimal experience with the gun. I like that it loaded ambidextrously, so you can load from the right or the left. And when I first got our hands on the gun, I was like, how do you unload this gun? Because it's not like any other 12 gauge. By simply pressing this button here, it actually ejects and catches the round in below the stock here. So each one is captured, not just falling out on the ground. So it was very thoughtful design there on how to actually unload the weapon.
The multiple sling swivel points on it, that was kind of handy.
Yeah, so you can 4 of them.
1 on each side, I believe, or 2 on each side. So there's options for there. So if you're carrying left-handed or right-handed, or however you want to set that up.
Yeah, and they did set it up very ambidextrous, not just the loading, but the mechanism here to pivot your tube to the next rounds. The safeties, ambi safety, the loading, which we already talked about, sling points, even the charging handle can be moved from one side to the other, making everything fully ambidextrous, which is really cool. It accepts Benelli chokes, so it's very easy to find chokes for this thing.
You got your full Picatinny mount on top, which is nice because being a bullpup design, certain optics like
have a longer eye relief.
Yeah, you want a longer eye relief, so it gives you that ability.
It has has the adjustable gas for the different types of rounds you run it, but it isn't something that's complicated. It's literally high or low, so you're running either a lot of gas or less gas, so that you can make it operate with different types of ammo. You got your M-locks on both sides for your lights or whatever you'd like to put on there. It does come in 3 different colors, and I'm a big fan of FDE. This one's in black, and I believe there's an OD green. So if you, whatever your flavor.
The only thing that I noticed shooting it, not to get off the specs and features, I mean, one of the big features is you have 3 magazines. It seemed, and then maybe it's just because I'm not used to it, but remembering to push this thing because it shoots so fast, to then change your cylinder, it seemed kind of cumbersome sometimes. But then again, I'm not.
Yeah, I never got.
You showed me this gun, and 5 minutes later, I was shooting it. So,
yeah. I actually had trouble as well, but just rotating the cylinder. Sometimes I felt like it just didn't want to go, and that might be just this exact gun. But I've watched videos with folks that can really run that thing. I think a little more time with it, maybe. But sometimes I felt like I had to push the round in a little bit to get it to cycle, or go back a little bit. They go the direction I wanted it to cycle in. So that was really the only thing I would complain about. If you're going to complain about the weight, I mean, what do you expect? You got like an entire box of shells in this gun, and it's this big. So it's all the way condensed to this tiny footprint, and it's got 15 plus 1 rounds of 12 gauges. So chuck an optic on that, I believe it's up near 10 pounds at that point.
Yeah. And on, when you first pick this up, it's really back heavy. But once you do load that up with 15 rounds at 2 3/4, it levels itself nicely.
Yep.
Staying on target was easy. I will give it that. It was easy to stay on target.
It was super easy to shoot. It was fun to shoot. It shot fast. It unloaded a lot quicker than I thought it would.
Yeah.
Definitely different than pump action, or even operating like a semi-auto longer 12 gauge. Just seemed like it wanted to eat rounds a lot faster. It did cycle quickly. I didn't have any feed issues. The only, like Gil said, the only issue I had was changing between the tubes, and I think that might just be the learning curve, because I haven't operated any gun that had a mechanism like that, and I don't think there is another gun that has a mechanism like that.
What do you think the targeted audience is on this? I mean, outside of your obvious military, law enforcement.
Yeah, I was thinking IWI built it, with combat intentions to give you super capacity, law enforcement, super capacity, like SWAT type situations. Home defense is my choice for this gun. I talk a lot about wanting to have, shotgun is just the ideal in my mind. Home defense gun. That's it. You're rounding corners in your house. You don't have a barrel that's going to hit every single wall, and you aren't coming out around the corner with your barrel, half hour before you show up, because it's so long in front of you there. But
that I think you watch some of the videos of them hunting pigs on the back of side-by-sides and stuff, and they're pacing them. This would make an outstanding firearm for hunting pigs.
Yeah,
from a mobile position.
I guess my biggest surprise, not that it's unusual for guns to accept slugs, I just didn't think you could run slugs, buckshot, birdshot all through the same platform at the same time. You could literally load every other round if you wanted to, for just some range fun. But if you're talking pigs, you could poke a big hole in them.
Yeah.
You could technically use it for deer hunting, and the fact that it does accept other choke tubes, you could put an extra full on it and take this thing out for turkey if you don't have a capacity restriction in your state. But I camoed up a bit. But
so you talk about the mag restrictions for turkey hunting and deer hunting, that kind of thing. Just taking it out to the range with your buddies, whether you're just playing around doing some trick shooting, shooting sporting clays, or just that kind of fun. You could shoot steel on this thing and make the steel sing for quite a while compared to a normal shotgun. So that is nice, and the nice versatility with it.
Yeah, and 12 gauge is readily available. 12 gauge is typically affordable. You're going to find something at anywhere that sells ammunition that will run in this gun. And the range, the idea of having this at the range is just it would be my choice for this gun outside of home defense. This is going to garner a lot of attention because it's very unconventional, it's unique.
Yeah.
And as a gun owner, this is a gun that I would like to have in the collection. And I feel like I would bring it out almost every range trip as my shotgun, running drills or whatever, just to have some fun with something that's different.
What's MSRP on this?
I believe it's around $1,400.
It's actually not as bad as I thought it would be. It's a lot of gun. It's a lot of
engineering went into this thing.
Yeah.
Many years of hard work from IWI.
Yeah, because we didn't have any malfunctions with it.
No.
Honestly, I mean, besides us getting used to turning these, and then just trying to figure out, because everything on it here is conventional, just not the way we see it. With releasing the shell.
Other different positions than typical here. Usually it's near the trigger guard or whatever.
Yeah.
And most 12 gauges aren't going to catch your ejected shell.
Correct.
So that was a surprise out of the box. That's pretty cool.
So we'd like to thank IWI for sending this out. One of the coolest guns that we've got to review. A lot of fun. Find it practical. Jared, do you have any other last thoughts?
Yeah, as with all the unique guns that we bring in here at Otis, there is a cleaning video on this. We'll link it in the pinned comment and in the description. So if you happen to own this firearm, or if you're just interested in how it goes together, check out that link. Thank you for watching this video. Be sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe.
Thank you.